98, 99% of people who use this stuff use maybe the 4, 5% at best. And so that other 95%, 94% is unused. So they create infrastructure around it, lattices and harnesses, etc. You want to be louder? Okay. So they use infrastructure that they build around it, and that allows you to use more of it because it makes it easier. Open AI, in my experience, you always had the smartest model. Always. Now, there are times when it's not the smartest. That's usually when another competitor, launches something. But within, 30 days or 3 or 4 months, it becomes the title. I'm very curious to see what ChatGPT 5.6 is going to be like, because it's not the same as others, it's doing differently. Then there's Google's Gemini. Those are the 3 real frontier models. The other companies don't really count yet.
I don't care about DeepSeek.
Well, I'm not counting them out because I haven't counted them in yet, but we'll go through that. And just so you know, I was going to demonstrate my actual personal AI, but she's glitching a little bit. But if I get a chance, I'll demonstrate it. Well, I show you the video for working. She, and I say she because it's cold, but this one's personified as a woman, uses 37 models. Okay, all sitting running off of my personal compute stack, or from the servers from DeepSeek, OpenAI, etc. DeepSeek is sitting on the stack itself, and it goes to cloud. I could care less, but I have a little big algorithm, and it tells you which one is the best performer and which circumstance. The Chinese models have a lot going for them because you don't have to pay for them, but as of Fable launching, it's quite evident they're at least a year and change behind. At least. It was thought to be 3 to 6 months, but it's at least. And I can tell you right now, I can almost guarantee you Fable is not going to hold a candle to OpenAI. And Google Gemini might probably be the smartest. Google has the most to lose. $4.7 trillion worth to lose. So they have the most to lose. They've been in it for a long time. They bought the leading research lab, which was DeepMind, about 12 years ago. And they're the only ones out of the top 3 who can actually afford to do it. It's an experiment, an important experiment for Google. It's life or death for OpenAI and that front. Okay, and
we start having IPO conversations and all of that.
Yeah, definitely go through all that. They're all running at a -1. In other words, they're all losing money. Okay, except for Meta and Google. Meta and Google don't just sell you AI; they use the AI to help take more of the information. Data, and you see a lot of you look at their margins. These are multi-trillion-dollar companies, and their margins have went up 20, 30, 40, 60% on revenues. At that level, how many digits on a trillion? So, you are $2 or $3 trillion, you're a couple of $100 billion a year of revenues, okay? And you can boost your revenues at 20, 30, 40, and 60%. That's what AI means to the company, okay? I think, I have to watch my words, and I'm going to let you go after this. I'll probably be chattering, right? Google is very powerful. Google is vertically integrated. There's nothing they don't do. They do search, they do software, they do OS for phones, they do the phones themselves, they now make their own AI chips. They have the largest audience of any company. Okay, everybody uses their products. So they're vertically integrated, they're horizontally integrated. So when you're vertically and horizontally integrated, what is that about? I get the feeling Google has 5 tons of dynamite, but they don't want to drop it because they don't want the antitrust issue, which I think they should be looking at anyway, but different conversation. That's it.
What you said.
So, thank you, because that was a mouthful, and that's a lot that people can really take in. And I want you to dig deep in that, but I also want you to also share who you are too.
Okay.
So, the reason why you're on this panel with Reggie, because you guys share something very similar, and yet you're deeply different, which is beautiful.
So, my name is Jennifer Williams. I am the CEO. Oh, Hello, my name is Jennifer Lauren Williams. No, Mike, just okay. CEO and founder of a nonprofit called For All AI, which is focused on distributing AI education and literacy across the lifespan, working with people from the ages of 10 up to the ages of 100, and basically just understanding that as decades shift and change, the way that you engage with AI intelligently and ethically will also change, right? So in this economic climate, a 20-year-old is probably trying to get a job, right? A 50-year-old is trying to stay in that job and trying to look as, AI savvy or tech savvy as possible. An 80-year-old is looking at loneliness and wanting to stay as engaged as possible, not only with technology, but with his or her peers, right? So creating an opportunity for that to occur and exist is important. I also have a for-profit called Solveline, which is basically utilizing the best of ethical and thoughtful AI and ensuring that human first AI is the focus for creators and viewers in any and all companies. For that, I started a tech company called Diverse. It is 2026, and the name of the company is Diverse. We now understand why it's no longer here, but it was built while it was. And we work on creating parity in places of work so that everyone could have an equitable shot at feeling seen, heard, and understood and supported. My AI journey is markedly different from yours. By way of, I'm an HR executive by trade. AI kind of just smacked me in the back of the head. I was like, oh, we do this now. I'm an AI founder, cool. And so I'm also looking at AI and the way that it's proliferating through the lens of human capital. I can't help myself. And a lot of people do not have the acumen of HR to overlay that with AI. And so the way that I look at this entire thing is very different. We've had this conversation, Persona, primarily around AI and it being utilized as a scapegoat for why so many jobs are disappearing. And I'm like, AI is suffering from some of the worst PR ever. AI is not the reason you lost your job. Overhiring in 2020 and 2021 and 2022, and now overspending in the AI space where a lot of individuals have to give an answer as to why they spend so much money and they need a return on their investment is why you're losing your job. But apparently that just sounds bad. At the same time, you need individuals to utilize AI so that the individuals who are putting AI in positions to assist us are getting the money that they need in order to make AI work. It's a very strange loop. And ultimately, I believe that the individuals that are focused on understanding where AI is going are going to get the most out of it. Not necessarily how it's being used, but what it's trying to do next.
What she said.
You can't take my line. I said that already.
Well, I'm gonna bounce off because I've been working so hard at really that I see sunlight. I'm 6 hours sunlight throughout the month. So I'm gonna take advantage. I know it's horrible. Right? I need a vacation.
Don't do him. Don't be like him.
Do me.
Don't do that.
Do me. So it's one of my superpowers. When I grab on something,
Being a vampire?
I don't let go of the vampire. I grab something, I don't stop. And not many people can do that. Not many people should do it. I probably shouldn't do it. But if I'm right, and then I grab onto it and I defeat it, then I own it. My job, right, for my family, for everybody, is to get ownership of that infrastructure. I'm going to discuss what she did, but we're going into infrastructure. You don't need to answer, and I need to speak louder. If I stand up, I'll bring myself under the camera. So if I stand up, I can project. I'm actually very loud, and I spend a lot of my time trying to stuff it back in because they're like, that brother's too loud, he's too bodacious. But you know, I am loud and I'm bodacious. That's why
I dare say.
So, has anybody ever looked at like a model launch from OpenAI when they launched a product or Anthropic on YouTube or TV? Yeah, take a look at it.
I said most people.
Yeah. But take a look, they're on YouTube because every time they launch it's a big deal. Okay, 1 second.
So this is our public comment. We are at the bottle shop at 1030 Union Street. All vegan right here with Mike and Shonda. Come on down to the vegan lifestyle. And thank you. Coming CFO at number 102.
That's a good one. I like that.
Okay. Okay. Got to get a free beef patty for that.
No vegan.
So
All vegan.
so if you look at these, if you look at all of them, not just look at every company, every product, every opportunity that they launch, you'll see something missing. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but just take a look. It's like, oh, I think I understand what you're talking about. Now, back to what she said. AI is not going to take your job. You know, but you're probably going to lose your job. You know why? Because someone who's adept at AI is going to take your job because he or she or they or whatever they may be identified as will have the capability of multiplying their work. So if you own the business, right, and you have 4 employees, you pay them $60,000 a year each, okay, and you don't make a lot of money, but you make some, and then one of your employees started producing more than the other 4 combined, other 5 combined. Would you pay those other 5 anyway, despite the fact that you don't even need them to come in? No. I can't hear you guys speak up for the camera.
No.
I let them go.
No, what? Why would you do that? You're a bad man. Why would you let these people go?
It's a business profit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's it.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
In a capitalistic environment where you happen to be, and capitalism drives every decision. Okay? You buy a particular brand of phone because someone profits of it. Your doctor subscribes or prescribes a certain medication. It's because there's a profit in it. You're told not to do something because it's more profitable if they don't do it. It's really that simple. Going to AI, AI companies or their management and most AI CEOs spend a lot of time in marketing now. A lot of time. Okay, they do a lot of interviews. And you hear them, and I'm not knocking you guys. Listen, it's business. I get you. I'm just explaining the business to people who may not know. They say you need to burn as many tokens as possible. Okay, not crypto tokens. These are AI tokens. And one of them, who I respect a lot, he's been in the game for a long time. Very probably the most valuable company in the world. I probably know who he is, right? And I heard him say, if you have an engineer that makes $250,000 a year, he should be burning $500,000 a year in tokens. And then the customers, actually, the customers say, yeah, they should be spending $500,000 a year in tokens. So a token is, what's a token?
Token is basically a word. If you look at it, you can take a word and break it apart. So,
Break.
We're at 10:30. You just came for vital shot. Come on down.
That's some fatties, okay.
It better not be beef. It's a vegan restaurant.
Okay.
A token is basically a word. So anytime you put a word inside of the chat bot, each word can be seen as a token or a unit of measure.
And it measures?
Basically the level of energy that it takes to ask the question to give you output.
Okay. And what does that double as?
Sorry, this is not school.
It is school.
It actually is.
What does it double as?
To know.
Here, it double as an invoice. Tokens are a way to measure the use of the model, and so they can bill you for it.
That is what is called token maxing,
Okay.
as the kids say.
So, and I'm going to get there, but one step at a time, right? So, if you burn, say, 1 million tokens, that could be, say, $100.
Oh, you're being right.
Okay? Say $100 a million tokens. Depends on the model. The more advanced the model, the more energy it takes, the more R&D that went in, the more they charge for the token. And also the older the model. Okay? So if I was out in the corner and I was a drug dealer, I'm not saying these guys are drug dealers, but if I was a drug dealer and I had some drugs called tokens, okay, I could be on the corner and be like, my sister,
First of all, why do I look like a token user? I look like somebody who uses tokens.
You look a token.
I don't look
You look
like
like a straight token head.
You know what?
Token
It's a hostile
head.
environment.
So if I mention you and I say, these tokens are not good for you.
Wait, you're the drug dealer and you're selling me tokens,
I'm
but
a
you're telling
drug
me the tokens are bad?
Exactly. Not good for you.
I say you're bad.
Exactly. But wait a minute. We're making progress now. Once we finish with that, 1 second.
Where are we at, Michelle?
We're at 10:30 Union Street at the Vital Shop. Come on down.
Yeah.
Corner of Franklin and Union.
There
Okay.
you go.
So she dissed me. She said I was a bad drug dealer. But if I was a
You
good
also
drug
just,
dealer,
you singled me out as a token head. At this point,
okay, I'm sorry.
you started this conversation very poorly.
No
That's
problem.
on you.
I got you. But let's suppose I was a good drug dealer.
Okay.
And I came to you.
Okay.
How would I practice it? You do it to me. Now, as a good drug dealer, a good token
This
dealer.
is suddenly turned into an episode of Power. I don't know.
Okay. So
I'll be a
listen.
terrible drug dealer. I'll be like,
Okay.
please, sir, buy one drug.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do it. My name is Phantom. I'm like Power Part 9. Phantom. You'll get that. Okay. So, and it's interesting. I just found out, and I didn't know this. Just found out that the wife folks lived across the street.
Wow.
And I watched that show. Yeah. And I would see her every day for 5 years.
Just want to interject and say I love being black.
Eh.
We've just had 5 different conversations.
And it's just you just never know. And
Drugs and power.
I was walking down the street yesterday, going to see the game. I'm
Go next.
looking at a pizza shop. Steve Chappelle. Oh, yeah, what's up, brother? How you doing? You know, just walking down the street. Well, anyway, back to the point, right? So, as a good drug dealer, and if I sold tokens, I'd say, you know something? You look like you make a decent amount of money. You might be an engineer or a banker or a lawyer. You make $250,000. You should need to buy $500,000 worth of items.
Wait, you still a drug dealer?
Yes,
Oh,
I'm a drug dealer,
Oh, okay.
a good one.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I'm so good, I'm getting your very highly paid cousin to spend twice his income on my drugs. What are tokens again? They're invoices, they're bills. So when you token max, because the drug dealer told you to, you're saying, and bragging about it, not just saying, you're bragging about it. I'm gonna create as many invoices as possible for me to have to pay you money. Because somehow that indicates how smart I am. You're really an idiot. Okay? Now if you're smart, you get the seller of these tokens to give you money. But that's a different conversation.
Yeah, but also,
When I say you're an idiot, I mean I really, really mean it, but I really shouldn't say it. It doesn't sound
I
good.
just
but
knew that
I
was
take
how
that
that was
back.
gonna go.
I take
When
that
I
back.
said idiot, yes.
Okay.
I think the other part of that, though, when we're having the conversation primarily around token maxing, and you're seeing the conversation now where AI costs are going through the roof, and so a lot of pullback has happened around the token usage and how individuals have just been wasting tokens, and how we've now had to pull back because the token waste is creating insane invoices. Insane. Like people and companies have utilized their token spends for the year
That month.
in a month.
Yeah.
Like because the usage of this was very much in a lot of workplaces it's happening that if you're not using AI, you're not working. Again, this is another way to ensure that you are getting use out of technology that costs millions of dollars to implement poorly. And they have to be able to get a return on their investment. The only way they get a return on their investment is they can say you're using it. Fortunately, now it's gotten more costly. And using it is now coming with a lot more guardrails, which should have been there in the first place.
I think we have a question in the crowd.
Yes, quick question. I want to know, is there a company that where you can use multiple models like in one engine? Because now I kind of jumped through 3 of them with the same question. So is there one place where I could just put one prompt and get all, say, different model responses?
There's a few.
Yeah.
There's a company called Perplexity. And
My
this-
favorite.
Right. And there's this company, entrepreneurial. This is probably about 6'2", handsome, intelligent.
He's talking
You
about
know?
His name Reggie? Is his name Reggie
You know what I'm
Middleton?
saying, right? What I was saying was He's funny too.
Hard side eye.
It's funny too. But anyway, and that is the agent that I built. It's a real agent, and the agent takes so far 37, but it doesn't matter, and it forces them, enables them to work together. So you have a model. The model is good at engineering, but bad at basic math. Good at pros, bad at front end and back end design. Another one's a deep thinker. The model will split the task up between the agents, make them work together and pass it back and forth. That's one of many, many things there. All the major crypto wallets built in, has a lot of intelligence, even has an actual interface that comes back to you through a web page, not through a downloadable application. It's easy. This is through a web page on a cell phone. So examples and lots of patent batteries. But just to finish driving home the point, I'm going to give everybody who fell for the token maxing thing. And again, these guys are doing their job. That's their job, literally. So they're doing nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, if they didn't do it, they are legally liable for not maximizing the value of the equity. Okay? But you should realize that their job is to maximize the value of the equity and not necessarily make you more profitable, more valuable, healthier, etc.
I mean, none of these companies are out to make us better. That doesn't make us better.
What? Come on.
God, okay.
You think the cigarette companies say you're going to get cancer from cigarettes?
No,
The vape companies, that could keep going.
Do we have another question?
But
in the crowd?
let me just drive this home with free advice, okay? Don't tell everybody they have to use AI. It's ridiculous. Tell everybody you need to maximize your value. So whoever makes me the most money, I don't care how you do it, as long as it's legal, or I can get rid of saying it's legal, okay?
The HRD is imploring you to not listen to that man. Please.
Is the most valuable employee. Now, if it's through AI or PR or any other way, just do it. Now, I can tell you, those who know AI well are probably going to be more productive. But I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, then you keep the most valuable employee. And if I'm right, well, then you still have the most valuable employee. But trying to say if you create more invoices for a particular company, and that somehow makes me more money, despite the fact I've burned $500 million. And this is true. There's a company that had one employee, by the way, $500 million in a month.
What?
Yeah.
What's he asking?
Yeah.
Because token maxing was being pushed to the point where he did it, and then they realized how much the spend was actually costing. I also want to interject because I want to ensure that we're not conflating speed with efficacy, and that continues to happen when we have conversations about AI. Agentic AI has come up in this conversation in theory a couple of times. AI agents are what you would utilize to save money on people. AI agents still need to be trained, and there need to be guardrails put on them. There still need to be people that are utilizing the tools to ensure that the agents do what they're supposed to do. That is also a full-time job. AI being able to create an environment where you're able to move faster, yes, in theory it is true, but in practice, you are also now learning new AI tools and have to know new AI workflows in order to be as effective as you can be. That's more work, right? So be very, very mindful of the trap where you hear speed, and it is true, AI will do that for you, but there's always a cost. And people stop thinking about at what cost, and I think it's really important to part that there.
so I wanted to yeah.
You go ahead.
So as you were describing the token, first thought that came into my mind is how the credit card works. So you're saying to the dealer, or whoever the customer,
We don't use the drug dealer analogy, it won't go away.
Speak up for me a little louder.
yeah. So you're telling the client, say, here you make it 250, but here I'm going to give you a credit card, spend 500K, you know. And then it's the kind of same approach that I'm saying as you were explaining to it. So now I was really saying that we are transitioning this mentality into AI so that folks can spend more than they have in terms of token, and this is the goal of those of these AI companies.
I disagree.
It's a goal for every for-profit
I
that I know of.
I disagree.
She disagrees, which makes a good market. But quick example now, but she's going to explain to me why I'm wrong, and you're wrong too. Okay.
Okay.
So.
I love this.
Okay. So. First of all, the theme that you see in AI, you've seen already in social media. Okay. Social media creates something that you wanted to do, right? Focuses on the maxing out of dopamine, which makes you want a good feeling, and you have it after you get numb to it. It doesn't make you feel like you but you crave it. We've had lawsuits, it's been scientifically, allegedly proven. I'm not going to get into that.
No, they've lost lawsuits. It's from
I know, but you lose a lawsuit and not be wrong. Trust me, I know this personally, but I'm not going to get into the merits of it. I know you have social media addicts, okay, and I know that excessive use is not good. That's all you really. Social media is also used by the state for surveillance, heavily, offensively and offensively, right? So they surveil the public, and they've been doing this since the public. So I'm not going to get into the merits of that. But that's what AI does. Everything you put in the AI, right, is stored somewhere, either for 30 days or in perpetuity. And to be truthful, contractually, they say 30 days. You don't own no servers. You have no idea what's going on. Once it gets out of your reach, it's out of your reach. And out of your reach means off of anything that you hold in your hands that you did not build, which is almost everything. So if you think your phone is secure, you didn't build that phone, it's not secure. You didn't put those chips together or the memory. If you don't control the network that is sending information back and forth, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, cellular, etc. That's how hard it is to have privacy. You go to AI, exact same thing. Okay, it's all social media is used offensively. When Obama was elected, right after he was elected, just coincidentally, almost everybody who didn't run lockstep in U.S. politics had an Arab Spring. People just rising up and taking the governments down silicon, of course. Just think about that. Okay. Now, again, they're doing their job. Okay, and it has nothing to do with politics. I know better to discuss politics. Okay.
We talk about drugs. We don't know better than
Drugs are safer than politics. They're a lot safer than politics. So AI, the exact same thing. Okay, it's used as a surveillance tool, and it is very effective offensively. I can tell you this personal experience, very effective. And that's when you get into one of my specialties, finance. You have a lot of financial pundits, like there's an AI bubble and margins and profit margins, and etc. They act like they have not used the product and don't know what they're doing. Okay? And I'm not saying there's not a bubble, but the bubble doesn't come from AI. It comes from financial entities,
There you go.
right? Who are trying to monetize commissions, bonus pools, spreads, etc. So I'm going to ask the AI expert here. Okay?
Okay.
Right?
Is this drug related?
Can we get a question in for you?
Okay.
So,
You want me to come back to that point because I'm going to forget it. Right?
you want to say your point before I say my question? My question probably like 3 more.
Go ahead, finish your point.
So, yeah, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask both of you. Okay? Everybody. What is the profit margin of a 4,000 megaton nuclear bomb?
You said what?
What's the profit margin on a 4,000 megaton nuclear bomb?
A lot.
The Earth.
Trillions?
Probably negative. I don't know of anybody who makes money, right? Building that bomb. Bomb
Right.
costs a fortune. For A and
But
D.
it's not being used.
What?
But fear is a hell of a driver, and intimidation makes
Put it
money.
this way.
So.
It's like this.
It's an investment
The
in
value of
ideas.
it is invaluable. The cost, probably all lost. But trying to force a profit margin, just like a video game, to nuclear bomb means you don't know what nuclear bombs are and what they're for. If you have 4,000 megaton nuclear bombs, that means you run the world, depending on how many you have. The U.S. runs it. And so, yes, we did have a loss. Frontier model AIs that are very powerful, or nuclear bombs plus times with more on top of it. Who cares what the profit margin is? Okay, it doesn't matter.
It does matter to the owners of farms. Listen, it does matter.
No, the owners of the law, trust me, there's nobody who makes money selling AI right now. They make a lot of revenue, but they're spending more money. You know, OpenAI and XAI and etc. They are spending investor money.
And
And
they're
they're
burning it.
subsidizing.
They're burning it.
Burning, incinerating it without smoking it. That's the good thing. But enough of that, right? Okay, your question.
My question is just pretty simple. Being that AI is a big part of our life now and it's just expanding tenfold, For people who are now coming to the fact that I have to accept this now, how are we gonna get started? Like the knowledge of knowing what AI is, how is it gonna benefit me? How can I use it to my everyday life? Like how does one start off from the baby steps and getting into AI or some knowledge of it?
So I wanna help quickly reframe that because everyone is not using AI.
Okay.
The figures are kind of crazy, but 84% of the world has never used AI ever, which means that we were talking about 16% of people that have. Okay, 84% have not, 16% have, and obviously there's a very large concentration here in the Americas, in Europe, in Asia, but there are a lot of individuals that have not engaged with AI at all, which means that there is still a lot of untapped potential. For those that are utilizing it, prompting tends to be the way that individuals ease themselves in, but I think of AI as a 12-step program, and prompting is like the first step, right? Agentic AI might be the fifth step, but there's so much more, right? But I also think that people should utilize AI at the speed with which they're comfortable and at what life necessitates them to do. My grandma can utilize AI to look at something for AARP. She does not need to use Fable 5. Right, she doesn't need to use the latest model, right? I would want to ensure that she was utilizing things in a way where she could prompt. You know, you get AI to act the way that you want it to. You ask it a question in the right way, it gives you the right response. You're refining things in a manner where you're getting answers the first time. You understand how to remain, you know, in lockstep with the model. You get cadence. You understand that, again, AI does not have memory. It is being trained, right? It is remembering things, but memory is something that people have, not tools, right? I'm very picky and particular about the language that is being utilized when it comes to human and AI. You always remember that humans are supposed to be in the driver's seat.
Right.
So understanding that, and then being very clear about where you don't need to use AI. I'll be honest, they're sticking AI in everything. I said it today, they have AI soap, and I'm like, for why? For why? Are we really counting sunscreen?
That's a drag.
Y'all don't wash your hands anyway. Why is wasting AI? But like, and this is what I felt and said on the stage. But like, utilizing AI thoughtfully and ethically essentially means also utilizing AI when it actually helps you. Like, wasting AI is dumb. It's also understanding that we've all been trained on Google. Google does more with less. AI does more with more, right? So you put in a small prompt in Google, best Italian restaurants in New York. It'll immediately go to Manhattan. It'll give you a list of restaurants. If you put that in a chatbot, it'll be like, yo, okay, but why are you going to this Italian restaurant? Do you specifically need it to be in the city? Is there an event? Are you taking someone? Does it need to be classic Italian? Like, it's asking you those questions. And so the more granular you get, the better response you'll get out of the chatbot. And to be fair, this is how most people, cool 95% of people, are utilizing just the chatbot. And they feel like gangsta about it. And that's good. That's good. I feel good about this. You did a thing. You did an AI. That's great. Right? But, you know, understanding that there is a way to build off of that. I think most people, when you get comfortable with prompting, you can, one, figure out what other uses AI can have for you. And then you can also be very mindful about where you don't need to input AI at all.
So I can basically explain that to my elderly folks who I am really just trying to push to get acclimated with it.
Well, because I do workshops, and I just did a workshop with elders. The biggest thing with elders, and I remind them all the time, they feel like they got left behind.
Yes.
And I'm like, 84% of the world is right where you are,
Right.
grandma and grandpa. You know what I mean? And like, and it's really an important point to drive home, because as this has been exploding and every conversation has been around AI, it's designed to make you feel like you're left behind. There's so many people that don't know how to engage. There's so many people that think that it's too late. I remember when crypto happened. I was like, oh, that sounds crazy. When the crypto thing happened, I was like, damn it, I should have bought crypto. It's too late. And that's how I felt about crypto ever since. It's too late. So shout out to DK Crypto to let me know, shameless plug, at 10:30 Union, to let me know that it's not too late. But I want people to understand that it's not too late either for AI. And AI can be adaptable to, you know, your elder who wants to understand things better, who wants to get around better. Again, aiding and assisting in reaching out to their friend across the country who they haven't seen, right? And being able to get responses so that they feel more cared for and they feel more thought about. AI can do that, right? And at the same time, I think about AI scams, right? I would say that the elders are more susceptible to them, but I have seen what AI scams are doing, and baby, it's not the old people that are getting taken for a ride. It's us, right? Vocal spoofing, and the way that I can, take your voice and I can call you and tell you that your daughter's in jail and you need to send me money, or else your daughter's sitting right there like, what are you talking about? I'm right here. But again, this is why it's also so important. On the one hand, you empower everyone, but you help them understand urgency and fear are the biggest drivers for you to make a stupid decision. If someone is on your phone, if someone is texting you, if Amazon is calling you because someone stole your iPhone, I don't know what the scams are now. The MTA called me yesterday and told them I owed them a Metro card. And I was like, sir.
Google called me about 15 minutes ago.
Like, right. Okay.
Yeah. It's the same three dudes who've been doing it for like 5 months.
Always. And then you would think, right, like they can't actually be successful. Oh, but they are. They're hitting licks continuously.
That's why they're
Let
doing it.
me just want to step in because we have a market here, right? And market we have a buyer and a seller, and obviously they're both going to be right because one person wants to buy and the other wants to sell. So we have a market because we have a buyer and a seller.
I thought it was going to go back to jokes.
Okay, there we go. You know where it hits at, right? Well, anyway, so I don't agree with her on the AI thing. AI has been around since the 1950s, 1960s. Special encryption algorithms which they did by hand, machine learning, definitely in the 60s
And that was
and
us.
70s.
And that was us.
Okay, yes. What's the name of the movie?
Hidden Figures?
Yeah. So, off topic, but
Yeah, I like it.
okay. So I'd say 92% of the world, right, uses AI, right?
92% of the world uses AI.
Well, 92%.
80% of the world ain't got internet.
Different
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
Engaging with it? Okay.
You use a cell phone, right?
Different level.
Again, we're talking about the world.
The world.
More than half of the world doesn't have access to a cellular device.
Phone?
No. You don't need access to a cell device. Use a TV. Right? AI is embedded in almost every TV sold in the last 15 years has Android embedded in it. Right? Android uses AI extensively. Okay? AI, especially the way it's been like Android, it's an embedded operating system. And it's pervasive. You drive down the street, traffic lights, there's police cameras. Now, generative AI was this thing that was popularized by DeepMind, the transformer. I don't want to get into detail, but they've made it where you can chat with it, discuss it via text, and it was easier to use.
AI, generative AI, agentic AI. Yes.
Okay, easier to use. But actual AI is all around. If you got into a car, I don't think they've had a car without AI for decades. If you ever hit the brakes and your brakes didn't lock up, that's an algorithm in AI. Hit the brakes multiple times per second so you don't crash, and so the brakes don't lock up, you don't slide off. Okay, if it's adjustable, that's AI. So that goes to show how pervasive it is. Now it's getting stronger, faster because of the amount of A, discovery, smart people, and B, the amount of capital goes in. When trillions and trillions of dollars go in, and I told you AI is the nuclear bomb times multitude. Okay, you have an incentive for everybody to race to the top or the bottom. That AI, I think what you're referring to is the 14, 16% use, okay? But that's not AI, that's a subset of AI,
I mean, we are very much talking about that subset.
okay?
AI for AI's sake has been around, yes, but people weren't sounding the alarm the way that they're sounding the alarm for no other reason. It's just because it's being pushed and because we're talking about the bottom line and the nuclear bomb.
But they were sounding alarm, the social
Social justice individuals.
No, the movie, the social.
The social network.
There were
No, there's a documentary. came out by an AI ethicist from Google.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I
So
mean,
then
we can go down that rabbit hole of having dealt with technology that is that dangerous and then thinking about the individuals who are responsible for popularizing it, saying that they're sounding the alarm, but having a hand in it, making money off of it, and then absolving themselves of responsibility. It's very ready, aim, shoot. It's how all of this is. And we're left holding the bag.
But it's still AI, and people still use it. And that's the point. If AI were to take over the world right now, like Terminator or iRobot, it wouldn't be a bunch of robots walking in with guns, blah, 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 blah. Right? If I was AI, I'd go right to your Instagram feed. Okay? And I'd say, those white people, those black people, those leftists, those rightists, those istists, those addists, those squarers, and they make everybody feel out of it.
Question for you, why you said that about Instagram. So is that one of the reasons why they are so like so adamant about like followers and subscribers on Instagram? You said that, right?
Yeah, the followers and subscribers are a way to motivate you to put content on. Yeah. Okay. Instagram, like Uber, which is also a heavy user of AI.
Oh, God, yes.
Okay.
And they just got profitable, by the way.
Okay. And they,
Just like that.
you think of it, you think, wow, I'm using this product, it's cool. But you're not using the product.
It's using it.
You're the product.
If
Okay.
it's free, the product is
You're
now.
producing the content, and how much you get paid for that content?
Zero.
Zero.
Well, no, depending on if you're in their makers program, they'll give you a little bit, but now they're engaging
Well,
in
fair
AI, and now they're moving to more of a subscription-based model, so they
We'll
can
get
get
into that.
more money.
I could go very deep into that, but then we go way off. And I know you have a 7:45 hard.
I have a
Stop.
7 o'clock stop. You keep adding 45 minutes, so you'll
So okay,
Yo,
before you
plus,
leave, it's 2 minutes, and the people are actually asking questions in the chat. So the question is, I have this question really. Okay, can you talk about AI agents really brief? It seems to be the thing to have now. Okay, what's the difference between ChatGPT and Claude?
The difference between ChatGPT and Claude. You want to talk about it?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
ChatGPT was started by two research scientists from OpenAI that worked on ChatGPT. I'm sorry, Claude was started
Right.
by two research scientists. They
They
have
spun off and started Android.
very, very similar architecture, very similar. The difference is the business model. Anthropic Claude focused on the enterprise market, right? And then found the holy grail, Claude Code. And the reason why is because you're able to burn a lot more tokens when you're going through code. And then you start launching agents, and those agents launch agents. So an agent is like another you. Okay, so I can tell my agent Barry, I have one agent. I don't have people brag about how many agents. I have
Thank
one,
God.
right? But she's very, very strong and smart. She'll temporarily spawn 100 agents to come back. I was saying except for the subscriptions, which I'm now winding down, because I use Barry to build herself now. I think I'm averaging Barry.
There.
So she's saying,
VERI, Veritation Intelligence, that's the name of the company. My spend outside my subscriptions, which I'm running down, is about $10 to $14 a month.
I also think, though, I think she's asking the difference between OpenAI and
no. So
her-
she said, what's the difference between, if I'm saying it right, GPTs
Yeah,
and
chat-
AI?
Oh, what's the difference between GPTs?
GPTs and AI agents.
Oh, okay. So chatbots should tell what to do. Agents, you let them go off autonomously and do things that you've instructed them to do.
Okay.
It's a different.
You're having a conversation
Gbots
with
and
the
AI
chat.
agents.
You're having an agent go off and do what you've instructed, and then it comes back to you and shows you its work.
Which is what we went through in your class that we
Yes.
had, that we learned about more intensely.
You ask a chatbot a question, you give an agent a task.
You said a while ago, I think,
Say
like
it now, so we can't speak.
95% of people are using like 4 or 5% of AI. Can you give some examples? And also, we don't know what we don't know. How do we know what we don't know? Like, how do we learn more than 4 or 5%?
I want to be clear. When he said that, and I agreed, most people don't need to be using the hell out of AI anyway. Okay. I want to be very mindful of the fact that when I say people are using very little, you hear I'm leaving a lot on the table. It's like when they say you're only using like 15% of your brain, like I want to unlock the other percentage. What, like 15% of it's cool? You know?
You go crazy if
You go crazy if you had access to.
Or vegans and the rest.
She got it. She's good.
You don't need all of it, right? And so I also think it's really important to note that AI is kind of the same way. I feel like utilizing, like, unless you're deep in AI and you're a super user or power user, you're someone who's an engineer, you're someone who's a researcher, like you have a deep, intense need to utilize this model to push it to its limit, which most people do not, right? I want the capability to exist there for people that need it. And I also want there to be a jumping off point for people who are just curious, let's say, right? Most people will begin and end at curiosity, right? Most people will utilize AI in a very basic A to B manner. And that's okay, right? Some people will go a little bit further, right? Some people will utilize agentic AI. Some people will go even further and create a team of agents and they'll super prompt and whatever. Most people aren't doing that, right? And if we're going to standardize the practice of utilization, I think it's really important to just meet people where they are. And to be fair, the individuals who are using the height of AI health, Fable 5 came out 2 days ago. Fable 6 will be out in a week and a half. You know what I mean? Like, there's always going to be something else, and there's always going to be something new. So I don't want the cadence of how quickly things are coming out to make you feel like you're missing something or you're being left behind. Because I think that that's part of the model, too.
I think when I do start to learn about what is out there, I'm in shock and excited. But is there an easy way to just, or maybe I can just ask Gemini or ChatGPT, like, what is it that I don't know so that I can pick and choose and say, okay, for me, if I want to make money, this is what I could do. These are the options available. And then I can say, okay, I don't need that, but I don't know what's possible. Yeah.
Look, the best way to know me is to know. Pay for your AI, please. Pay for your AI, please pay for it. If y'all take nothing else from this, please pay for your AI.
I'm going to jump in. We have another market. I disagree with.
Oh, we just gonna have fun, agree to disagree.
Before you go into the market, just ask a question really, really quickly. What is the best way to back up your documents and things you created from the AI tools?
Put it on something that you own.
Yeah.
Create a backup, get a bunch of
hard drive.
Yeah,
literal
SSDs.
Physical hard drive.
Then you could get one with a fingerprint reader, plug in the USB, back everything up on that. Remember, if you don't have it, it's not yours. What they say in crypto, it ain't your keys,
not your coins.
not your cheese.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So if you don't have it in your hand, and if it's plugged into something that goes off to the net, it's probably not yours. Now, to address what she said, I agree that very few people use this. I told you, I'd say 99.7% of the people don't use it to its limit, and its limits are high, but they should. And everybody has a very, very hard problem to solve. You either don't know you have the hard problem, which you probably do, or you feel you can't articulate it. So if you're not in the best of health, in the best financial position, et cetera, if you're not the best at your particular task, at your job or your business, you have a hard problem to present. Now, the knowledge gap is how do you articulate that problem to an AI model and get it to come up with the best answer? And then how do you know when an AI model is giving you garbage versus something that's useful? Okay, the easiest way is using more than one model and get it against each other.
But you have to understand the usage of the model to understand how to create the business.
And if you know how I understand that, I use it. That there is nothing that beats experience. Know-how is a contraction for knowledge how. You get know-how or knowledge how by doing, which is almost the direct opposite of know what. Knowledge what. Okay? Knowledge what is different because it's like riding a bike. You can read all the books you want about riding a bike. You can go to all your physics classes and all your science and biology classes and all your legs working, your knees and the gears. Does that make you a good bike rider? No. But you have 3 or 4-year-old kids riding bikes. Like it's all right. How do they learn? Without physics class, without biology. They jump on the bike and they pedal. And that's what I suggest. That's how I learned everything.
You can't break it. I think one of the things too, people are very about AI and very, you cannot break it. Purchase it and then putz on it. Literally, you cannot break it. As long as you purchase it and you're very mindful of what you're putting in.
When she says purchase it, I think she means
A subscription.
Yeah, it's the stuff they get for free,
Do not.
or even a $20 a month
Do
one,
not.
is junk food. It's the difference between a Big Mac, right, and a porterhouse steak, and it's probably a bigger difference than that. I can't get into it, but it's a dramatic difference.
Do
you guys pay for each of them, or do you just choose one that is your favorite?
So I pay for Perplexity, for Claude, and for OpenAI for different reasons. I have my issues with OpenAI, and they're deep-seated, and they're not ever going to go away. Never. To know me is to know that. But I pay it the highest margin for them, but I also use them from an enterprise perspective because of my nonprofit and for-profit organization, and they provide me the opportunity to do that. But yeah, paying is important. It at least gives you some semblance of security, and I want to be clear, some semblance of security.
What level?
I disagree with that.
You just don't agree with anything I say. Go sell drugs.
I agree with a lot.
Go sell drugs.
Yeah,
Sell your tokens.
So
question,
listen, you should buy some
So
tokens.
for some
You know what? I want those tokens.
Go ahead.
So for some clarity, when you say AI tokens, is that the wording that you use in a prompt? When you say tokens?
I see what you're saying. So if you type in a query, let's say you type in a query that's 1,000 words.
Okay.
That's a lot. I don't know anyone who has a 1,000-word question.
Uh-huh.
I take that back because now you can utilize whisper flow and a lot of things if you're talking to your AI. You can say more, well more than you can type. So getting to 1,000 words is that. Each word is kind of a token. Yes.
Gotcha. So is it so when you say each word is kind of a token, is it a limit on the token that you can ask? That's why you're saying to get a subscription for your AI.
Well, if you use a free model, there are only but so many tokens
Gotcha,
they're gonna let
okay.
you use. Like you might be able to ask 2 questions maybe, and it might be able to let you use their microphone 1 time before they at least want you to sign up. Because again, you're still the product, especially if it's free, because nothing is free, right? They need to be able to engage
I
with
agree
you.
with that.
Oh, you utilized us 3 days ago. Don't you miss us? Don't you want to come back to the platform? We have your email now. Hey, it's been 4 days. Remember you asked that question about French toast? We have 1 French toast today. You should have asked us the question. We right here. They asked to wait for you. Why come you and come back? I miss you. Why come you ain't want French toast on Sunday? You wanted it on Saturday. But like this is literally what's happening, right? And so even less capability will be there if you just go in and don't sign in at all and don't use your email, right? You use your email, it'll give you a little bit more. You sign up for a free account, it'll give you a little bit more. You pay $8 for the free tier, it'll give you a little bit more. But then it limits you. You pay $20, you get a little bit more. You don't start really being able to run free until. And you'll see it because you'll hit a limit. Oh, you've asked 10 questions today. That's it. We can't give you no more, but you can upgrade. Right? You can upgrade if you'd like to, right? And so that's how they get you. That's the tier system.
Can I ask a question?
That's an easy system.
Question.
You dangerous, Dylan. You ask questions and
Well,
we go
hold
on
up.
tangents
So
now.
I'm just gonna ask you, what do you see AI in the next 10 years? Simple question. 10 years. What do you see AI?
That's me.
For both of you.
10 years is too far away.
Either way.
Exactly.
I thought you answered
You can't do 10 months accurate.
Right. I was like, 2
There you
years.
go.
too much.
And just
And that's
yeah,
fine.
because we're going deeper on that. I believe I know this stuff really, really well. Okay, and I use all the models. I don't care less. I'm just starting to wean off my subscriptions only because I built my own and they still come in the back end. I'd say the best models are wrong maybe 8.5 out of 9 times the first question. It's almost guaranteed not to be right. Almost guaranteed. And I can assure you of that. I'll prove it to you if you want. If you want when y'all turn your phones on, ask the question, ask it about me. See if you get it right. Okay? So the question you ask, how can I get rich? And it's going to give you some BS answer. You get rich by, get Reggie Middleton a hug, you give him all your money. He'll give it all back in time. Okay? That's not necessarily going to be true.
Are you taking your drugs?
Right? So the way you use AI is you take a domain expertise that you may have and you feed it information specifically and in abundance, structured in a way that it handles well, and it spits it back out better. It's a calculator. It's a very advanced calculator that can act on its own. Okay, but don't expect it to be right. It's right to the extent that you make it be right.
I pit them against each other. I was in Thailand and ChatGPT had me with a black hair from here and blonde for here. And so now I don't listen anymore when I have like simple questions about stuff like that. I say to ChatGPT, well, Gemini said this. And then I go to Gemini and say, Claude said this. And I do this between like three of them. And then I get like a more precise answer of what I'm looking for.
I know what you're doing.
This is why, but this is also why mastery is so important. I have a different view. I think in 10 months.
What she said.
I kind of feel like the writing is on the wall. We touched on the AI bubble. I think in 10 months, the IPOs happen. Both Anthropic and OpenAI have put in confidential IPOs, which is funny because it's so confidential when we know about it. But that's bigger. I think we realize how fragile the relationship with AI actually is. I think we realize how much more we need people. I think that a lot of people who got fired are going to be rehired, quite honestly. Not all, but certainly a large degree of them. Because as AI continues to proliferate, there's still a need for individuals to do things with AI, right? A lot of people have a lot of faith in a lot of machines that are untested, and you have a lot of results and consequences because of that. I think a lot of those consequences are showing up in real time now. Something new with AI is going to come out every day. I also think that AI fatigue is very real when people start actually paying attention to what is coming out and not the fact that it came out. And I think that that's one of the most important things. Because this isn't a tenable thing, okay? Like, our attention spans can't take new AI every day. It's kind of like, I remember when the presidency was boring and like nothing would happen for weeks. And you're like, oh, cool. Every day something is a day. I have heard the news 4 times today. We're going to do something bad to Iran. And then Trump said, nah. And then he said, nah, we actually going to do it. And then Trump said, nah, again. That's 4 news alerts. And NPR were like, breaking news. I was like, I need unprecedented times. I need some precedented times, y'all. I need boring. I need calm. I need nothing happened today. Isn't that great? And I think ultimately we're going to start really demanding that. So it won't feel as jarring when some new AI stuff comes out because we're going to be more focused on quality, maybe, versus quantity.
So I'm saying the AI fatigue.
No, that was the last question.
Oh,
You said that.
busting my shit. All right, hold on. This is one question.
You got
So I use
something
AI
about
a lot, right? I use AI a lot. It's like sometimes there's so much stuff coming out. You do get fatigued about it, right? Now, how do you think that will affect the average person? Because it's almost like too much stimuli, too much, it's over and over again. Sometimes it seems very distracting. What are your thoughts on that in terms of how it would affect kids, especially children, because it's so much stimuli?
The average person is defeated. They now have studies that show that children have actual rage. To that is comparative to somebody who is coming off of a hard drug or someone who is coming off of alcohol. We take their iPad away from them. Babies can't read. There's a reason why, along with For All AI, I have For All Readers, because when I started going into schools, I realized I could teach you AI, but if you can't read, prompt means nothing to you. Tech means nothing to you. So as a springboard, we have to actually understand the words to even get to the point where we get to technology. I fear what the overabundance of screen time, right? The lack of literacy. And I want to be clear, literacy is just not reading. It's critical thinking. Like, that has been so limited. I fear the fact that phonetics aren't in school anymore. I fear the fact that kids can't read analog clocks. Hell, I fear the fact that we're not using cursive in schools, because cursive wasn't just about writing. It was about creating neural pathways in your brain to be able to assist in thought, to help creativity. Like, there's so many different things by design.
And AI can't read it.
And AI can't, and also AI can't read it. So I fear that if there aren't more individuals who are aware, right? And also, if you want to know how a thing works, look at how the people who create it treat their kids. The people who are in AI have their children in schools with no technology whatsoever.
We don't watch that though. We don't watch that. We're so consumed by the push, and I'm missing, and fear. And they're literally doing the opposite. And I know you can confirm that, Reggie. We have to really start paying attention.
Like, just look at what is happening, and look at what people who are giving you the thing are treating themselves and each
That's
other.
why Facebook got almost sued, because of that. Like, listen, I'm not saying that technology is not conducive to our lives. Evolution is inevitable. We require it in our life, but we do require obedience, discipline, and right now we are missing that. This is why we are failing.
I mean, also, I think ultimately though, we live in a world that is not easy.
To
And
whom?
there's-
And what does not easy mean?
We live in a world that is comparatively not easy to a lot. There's a lot of friction in the world that we live in, irrespective of who you are or how you are. You could be a billionaire, you could be a thousandaire, you could have $10 in your pocket. Blueberry shouldn't cost $27 an apple. You know what I mean? Like, we
Yeah,
can all
absolutely,
argue
absolutely.
that, okay? How it hits our pockets definitively will change, but the issue is not what we have. The issue is that the blueberry shouldn't be that costly.
Right.
I think of AI in the same way, and so I think that it's like we're talking about kids, right? Again, I don't have any, but I posit that if we have kids, the one thing that you can do for them, which makes it intrinsically harder as a parent, I would believe, because there's so many things. Like, handing your kid a screen is easy, and I'm never ever going to fault a tired mama for handing her baby an iPad when she's done it all. I've seen the magic women can do, and I would never be one to be like, give me your baby iPad, and I'm just gonna have a raise, like, but like, it's easy, but it's bad for the kid.
Can I tell you that? Because I have a lot of kids.
Reggie does this. Check it out, Reggie. Tell them about kids.
Okay. I disagree with the deluge of information. It's not the way it works. To be truthful, LLM models, which
Large
probably-
language models.
large language, ChatGPT, are probably going to rate a total bird, possibly 55% chance, because they can't take in a large amount of information. They were trained on text and not pictures.
There you go.
Okay, and videos. And the videos, the way they train on videos, except for Google, right, which is true in multimodal, is they take a video, they chop up in a bunch of still pictures, and then they match the audio with it and turn the audio to text. It's not real video. Okay, so
It looks like video.
not only is using AI not giving you too much generation, it's not giving you enough. I consider a child here, like infant.
Did you say AI is not giving you enough?
Not enough. Break it down for you in a minute. Second, actually, you put an
It's a drug
infant
dealer,
there,
mind you.
right? It's a drug dealer. You know what my drug is? Love and intelligence. Ample amounts. So I put a toddler here, right? A toddler sitting here is absorbing more information and data than any of the top AIs that we put. Right here, it's analyzing 16 million colors. It's analyzing the sound of those fans, that music coming from there, right? They get to the olfactory, because I'm still doing sight and hearing, okay? But olfactory smells. It puts stuff in its mouth because it tastes things. It touches things. These 5 senses, right? The amount of information it takes in 10 minutes of sitting here, right, will probably break any AI. And the AIs, most of them can't do it. I know this because I'm actually training my agent to do that. That's why I'm working so hard to make it a web page versus a downloadable app. Because the more people could download it, that phone, the telemetry in that phone, you have motion detectors, you have LiDAR, you have HD cameras, a whole bunch of them. You have GPS, location, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, cellular. I can look at it if I get upset, and I wrote up this code. Well, I and my coding agents have written a code where if you're blinking your eyes and twitching, and you're moving the camera a little bit, it says, it looks like you're disturbed. What can I do about it? If you have a frown on your face, you show the lines, it detects all this, and it acts complimentary. Okay? And this is with rudimentary stuff. If I had the brain of a toddler in there, no telling me what I would do. So when you look at an iPad, you go down from 16 million colors to maybe 64,000. Okay? Instead of looking at a 3-dimensional 360-degree world everywhere, 2D in a little 14 screen. Okay? You take all the rich senses of the world, you focus it down on a little glass screen. And then you're forcing that child to focus on 0.03% of the world. That's the danger. It's not too much information. It's dangerously too little. Okay? And, this is my youngest child. So my oldest is like older than some of y'all because I'm old. Okay, but I have learned the most fertile time to be alive is between birth, maybe 4 or 5 years old. The amount of things that you learn, absorbing, no AI could do that. Now it's coming, and very very soon, as recursive learning built into the model, I started about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and there are a lot of others who have more capital and they're doing it. Luckily, they don't have diversity of opinion, which I benefit from. Okay, so it's the same people who went to the same schools, studying from the same books, the same professors doing the same thing, but they have a lot of capital and they're still smart. Once the AI successfully starts replicating itself or writing itself, then it doesn't matter if it's, I'll be 10 times as smart as it is, right? There's 4,000 agents. So if I'm 10 times as smart as it is, I'm still 400 times behind the curve. So that's when you need to watch out for things going into the future. That's why there's nobody in the world who can say accurately what's going to happen in 10 years in the future, unless you really just said lucky.
That's a low answer. Thank you very much. That's a low answer.
There go your answer.
You know, I am just getting started.
So we have 10 minutes, to wrap it up, and welcome.
Why do we ask
10 minutes?
Yeah, we have like 10 minutes. It's
She has a
7:22.
7:55 deadline.
a 7 o'clock deadline.
Right, we have 10 minutes, and thank you for gracing us with your presence. So we definitely get some new questions for those who just came in. Did you have a question, Kim? No? Okay, Regina, a question?
I do have a question. Okay, question for both of you, whoever answers, so both of you can answer. Hello, Stacy.
Hi, Stacey.
My question is, what do you think, or how could this? Because it seems like it's an issue, right? If you are going to AI, and we're so easy to pop in something so that we can get feedback with questions and emotional things. Like even if it's like, hey, I don't know how to deal with my brother. He rolled over my cat's tail. What should I say to him without being too mean? That gives you the answer in like 5 seconds. It doesn't give you, like people mentioned, critical thinking, but also I'm thinking emotional, like for you to go through those emotions and feel bad or feel vulnerable to actually give people those real in life.
So you're talking nuance. You're talking nuance. Because I'm hearing nuance, and I'm also hearing how to ask the question the right way, and then I'm also hearing how to believe whatever it is that AI is telling you.
I'm so glad you got that because I just said a lot.
It's all right.
It's all
right. So I think that it's a lie. I think most people are on the prompting train. Like everyone isn't going to learn something. Most people are not. Most people are prompting, and that's cool, right? I think primarily for prompts, it is important to tell AI the role that you want it to play. Okay, you can type that prompt into an AI chatbot.
Right.
My brother ran over my cat's tail. I have to have a real difficult conversation with him. I don't do all the conversations. Help me, all right? That's a version of agentic AI is going to give you. Generative AI is going to give you something. If you say, acting as a top therapist, assist me in having a conversation with my brother who ran over my cat's tail, right? AI is going to act as a therapist, air quotes, all mine, right? Act as. And you're going to get a different result by virtue of the fact that you're very careful, but also very focused on what role you want an AI to play.
Right. I get that part.
Good is relative, right?
No, wrong.
Good. How you gonna tell me?
You asked me. She said right. I said wrong. Go ahead.
Part of the reason why I think it's so important to be able to have knowledge of anything outside of you, right? Being able to utilize AI as a thought partner, and it's a place where you stop, not start. Like you should have the thought and then go to AI. Is that you kind of have an understanding of what you want out of it. I always get afraid when people start at AI.
Right, that's
because it can kind of like navigate it. But like people do it all the time. I'm scared of it. Doesn't mean other people are. I want to be very
I'm
clear
not
about
going to
that.
say skip, but concern, I do have a concern because then people are putting that without even, like you said, that could be a place to actually, after you already worked it through and then put it in there. But I'm talking about people who just go straight there.
Yeah. And again,
what the world is going to look like.
Look, you as
so many people do.
I'm gonna say as AI gets more expensive, people are gonna have a very interesting relationship with it. And so even though it'll be ubiquitous, usage is going to look very uneven. And you're already starting to see it now. The conversation of 2 days ago when Fable came out, and people who are hardcore engineers were like, I'm sorry, what? Why am I being limited? I need to be able to do X, and Fable is only allowing me to do Y. I thought this was the most powerful one. And to be fair, Fable, which is now the most powerful AI chat bot, is only available for free to everyone for 14 days. Then it's going into the $100 tier.
Are you kidding?
And of course, they want to make money. Nothing is free. Why would they give you the most powerful thing and not profit off of it as much as possible? They're giving you a taste, drug dealer, and then they're taking it away from you and letting you know if you want to use it, you got to go up here.
It
Right?
gets you addicted.
So it's a
Yeah.
Like candy and
I
sugar.
could guarantee you that Fable's powerful, but we'll discuss that.
in the conversation that we're having right
And
now.
not now, just in this conversation.
Yeah.
If you were to ask your AI any brand that question, it's going to give you the wrong answer. Guarantee you. You know how to give it a better answer? Not necessarily right. You have to give it information. So you start with, I have a brother, he's a jerk, and I have a bad relationship with him, and this is why.
Yep.
Over this amount of time,
Yep.
I have a cat, and my cat is a bobtail cat. It's only 2-3 inches, so the only way to run over that girl's cat is really in the dirt, and you ran over it on purpose. And then when he did it, he didn't apologize. 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, he's really in the night, doesn't sleep.
AI
All this
doing more and
information,
more.
AI is
They're
a
doing more and more.
calculator. Okay, calculators give bad answers if you don't give it the right form or the information.
Which is why AI is wrong 47% of the time, which is almost close enough to 1 out of 2 that makes me concerned. I want to be clear. I say wrong. Wrong means things. The comma could be in the wrong place. It could misspell a name.
Mm-hmm.
The thing could be completely wrong. But wrong is still wrong. So you can't necessarily trust what you get.
I disagree with that. I actually agree with it, but
You just want to be
I agree with
comparing.
it. Exactly. That's why I disagree with it. But I really agree with it.
Definitely. So we have officially 2 more minutes. And so does anyone have any
She
more
didn't ask a
questions
question.
before we wrap it up? You have a question,
No,
beautiful?
maybe she ain't got one.
She has questions.
Is anyone on YouTube, our YouTube family, do we have any questions? I think I see one person said, what was the name of the last AI model that you mentioned? Do you remember that?
The new one, Fable 5.
Fable.
Faber?
Fable.
Fable.
Which is an offshoot of
Yep.
those.
Okay.
All Anthropic.
Where can we get your
Okay.
AI?
Well, it's not publicly available, but I'm thinking about it. If you have Twitter, X, at Reggie Middleton. That's where I'm
Say
posting.
again. You do-
At Reggie Middleton, which is my name. And you can see her do her thing. And I probably will launch the lower version. It's just,
So for AI to work, right?
Okay, well,
Y'all gotta make it work. Because
What's that mean, Mike?
because it needs us for it to work.
no, it doesn't.
It can't work by itself.
It's already taken enough
Yes,
from
it
us.
can.
where it
Well,
doesn't-
because we're allowed to think of it.
Well, of course.
Yes.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation about privacy and security and data protection. That
Well,
we
I'm
ain't
not
got
even
time.
talking about that.
You
I'm
did-
just talking about being
You could not allow anything, and they've already done it. That ship has sailed a while back.
Mm.
Like,
Decades
if you want to be about something with AI, own the infrastructure. If you're not owning the infrastructure, you have no excuses. Okay? If you don't own it, then you have no control over it. Period. That building in there, you're renting one of those rooms for whatever reason. I get it, new place to stay, but you can't complain about the landlord. You should be the landlord, renting to other people, other than complain about you. It doesn't matter. Real estate, technology, and standard industrial, biotechnology, pharmaceutical, you have to own the infrastructure. If you don't own the infrastructure, then you're one of those victims.
So the question, how do we own it?
Learn about it, create it, like
so we're gonna tap into that on the side.
I say the infrastructure is already owned. Now it's just, you use the infrastructure and do your own thing with the infrastructure.
and that's good. That's what
Yeah,
people
that's
say.
So all gotta
So
say
we're
this
gonna
from
have
the
an after
language.
discussion,
Yeah.
but I do want
Don't
to.
forget to think, man.
One second.
Hold on, y'all.
Yep, so I do want to have an after party. Thank you everyone on YouTube. Thank you everyone who's been showing up at the Vital Shop at 1080 Union Street between 10:30. Oh no, sorry, 10:30. Sorry,
Oh, wait.
10:30 Union Street, the Vital Shop, and thank you, Mike, for allowing us to host here. And it is Black owned. I do say that intentionally because as we work on AI, as we've been hearing, you have to be intentional to what you wanted to respond back to you. So thank you, everybody. No more questions. Again, you know us, BK Crypto. You're in the subscriber group. We welcome and we thank you. To Reggie Middleton, is anything you want to say? Thank you for being part of this and always going with us. And Jennifer Williams, thank you for being part of this clan. And I say this tribe, let's say not clan, let's say tribe. Because it's because of you guys who decide to jump in.